It's official. It's RJ, and I'm here with Jenna with the J All Day Podcast Show. Mic check.
What's cracking? What's popping? It's your host from the West Coast, Jenna, aka J All Day, and I got a special guest with me today.
Yes, indeed. It's your boy RJ.
There we go. Before we get started, you know how it goes. It's about time that everyone knows how this goes now. We're gonna get into RJ and what he has to bring to the table and what he's doing right now. But we're gonna start with a new snack alert. I don't know how you feel about sour candy. Are you a sour candy fan?
I like sour candies. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Crybabies. You remember Crybabies?
I remember Crybabies.
Those are old school candies. Like, I never see those things around anymore. Do you see them in grocery stores?
No, I haven't.
I don't either. Well, they're coming out with a new one. They're actually called Crybabies Nitro. It's making, even talking about them is making my mouth salivate. I don't know why sour candy. Like, you look at Crybabies and or Warheads and automatically you're like, drooling. So they're actually supposed to be extremely sour. They are injected with nitro injection liquid sour stuff.
Sounds pretty intense.
It sounds really intense.
Sounds intense.
So I guess you can find them at the Dollar Tree store right now. But if I find them, I'm gonna go on a hunt for these because I'm a sour candy junkie. Y'all know this, and then I'll let you know. But it's gonna be on my Instagram story. So if you want to check them out at JLDay87, you know where to find me. But it looks good.
Looks good?
I mean, yeah, there's like sour cherry, sour, all the flavors.
Well, I was hoping you had some because I'm looking forward to trying it.
See, RJ already called me out.
Ah, see.
I wish I did. But you know what we do have?
What do we have? Oh, talk about it.
We have some, Earl Stevens Mango Scotto finely crafted wine from the one and only E4O.
Before we jump into it, I just couldn't show up and do this podcast without showing some love,
Aww.
To a fellow Bay Area person like yourself,
yeah.
Influencer.
You have no idea.
Go-getter.
I love E4.
I know you do.
He's my partner, for real.
I know you do. So that was kind of my contribution to say, I appreciate what you do and thank you for having me on the show,
RJ.
and thank you for being such a great influence on the community and the music scene for Seattle.
I appreciate you. It means a lot.
Yeah, we really rock with you.
I
for
really
real.
Appreciate that.
And I appreciate you being genuine from day one. You know what I mean, and being true to that. So with that being said,
people don't believe me when I tell them. Like, I only really fuck with other genuine, real people.
Facts.
Like, if I don't fuck with you, it's either because I don't know you at all, like I don't actually know who you are,
right.
Or it's because I don't like the person that you are.
We ain't vibing.
You know what I mean? It's your character's off.
Right. Yeah.
And so, I met RJ a while back now. It's been a minute, actually. I would say a year or even a little over a year.
Yeah.
When we met, and he actually asked me to do a local hip hop showcase. When was that? It was
last year, I want to say around August.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, it was August.
It was around then, at Roomba Notes Lounge, right?
In
Is
the
that what it's
hood.
called?
Yeah.
Yeah, on Rainier.
I took it to, and I was a little skeptical too. I was like, here you got this corporate voice on the radio.
Yeah.
And I'm about to, sell her on coming to the hood to do an event.
You know
me.
me.
But you know what? But that's why I chose you, because I was like, but she's real. She's about the people. So,
Hell yeah.
You're not afraid to get out and touch and mingle with the people.
No.
And I took you to one of the hooded spots or areas. But you know what?
I was so used to that though.
Oh, I know you blended in, but it was what we were gonna do there. You feel me? We were gonna go there and do something positive for that area, and we made it happen.
We did. We made it happen, and we made it happen so much that you had people hitting me up, being like, "When's the next showcase? When's the next showcase?"
No doubt.
So, when's the next showcase? Any word? Are we doing any type of local hip hop stuff? Because I know you got a lot up your sleeve, but I also know you're super busy.
Yes, yeah, and I do. So there will be a Who's Hot too.
Okay.
It was gonna be set for Memorial, but instead, what we're gonna do, we're gonna be at the Hard. I'll go ahead and I'll drop it here.
Okay.
We're gonna be at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh, that's a good venue.
May 22nd, and it's not gonna be a Who's Hot, but it's gonna be something geared to a lot of the R&B.
Okay.
So we did the hip hop, so now we're gonna go to the R&B, and we got a pretty dope lineup. So I'm excited.
There's some really great R&B out here.
Yeah.
And I'm actually having an R&B artist that I know come on the show in a week or so. So BC Trey, I don't know if you've heard of him, but I'll tell you about him when we get off the episode. But he has a good voice. He's blowing up pretty quick, and so I'm always for people. I met him at a venue, and he just you know when you hear a voice and you're like, yo, bruh, like we gotta do something with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like. Because if they have that voice and they might not have the opportunities, it's because they're not around the right people.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I kind of looked at him like, all right, like I fuck with him. Like he's really talented. I love men who can sing too. I think it's just like something that like it's just always so amazing to me. You know what I mean?
It's an attraction, huh?
Yeah. It's just like to me, it's not like ooh, like that's sexy. That's not really it. It's more like it's a very an emotional thing, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like it's very, I don't know how to explain
like
it.
Like a connection?
No, it's like I don't want to use feminine because it's not feminine. Singing, I wouldn't say is feminine, but it's like they're more in touch maybe with their emotional side.
Soulful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel
so I feel like people that you know when you ask somebody what's your favorite genre of music and someone says R&B, they got something deeper than the average person inside them. You know what I mean? I just feel like it speaks volumes when people are like, I like R&B the most.
Right.
You're like, you deep.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you either A like crying,
right,
or you fucking deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see it.
Because we all go through things in R&B, in the hip hop cultural world. That's how a lot of people get through shit. I mean, Mary J. Blige, she got me through more than I could ever speak about any rap song. But you know me, I love my rap, I love my little Boosie and all that shit.
Right. Well, see, I think it's pain. I think when if I'm going through something, right, and I want to connect on a emotional or a pain level, R&B. Yeah. Because it's just something that it taps into the soul, right?
And you said it right there. Pain is a word I was kind of looking for.
Right. You can hear the pain.
Pain is automatically connected to struggle.
Word.
And when you've gone through some pain and you've been through the trenches, then getting out and seeing that sun for the first time is different. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that like when people really find a connection with R&B, it just means that they're just a little bit deeper. They've been through some shit where they relate to R&B. Right. And so usually 9 times out of 10 I get along with those type of people because I've been through some shit. So I'm like, all right, I can feel you. You know what I'm saying? I feel that.
Now you put on the hip hop when you want to, get the adrenaline, a little aggression.
Yeah, or you're mad.
Or you mad, you're frustrated,
You're working out, or you feel like partying, then you throw that shit on, then you get all hyped up and stuff.
Tap in.
But there are some songs, like one specific song for me, it's called Betrayed, and it's by Lil Boosie and Webby.
Okay.
And I listened to that song so many times.
So you rock with us Southern guys, huh?
Oh yeah.
Down south New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that my old soul was from the South.
Okay.
Like guaranteed. I was an old man from the South.
I can see
back
it.
in the day.
From New Orleans,
probably.
Yeah, from the quarters.
Had to be. I swear. Because I have all these like. Everyone's always like, Jenna's like a tomboy, Jenna's like, she's a dude, like whatever. But it's like, it's deeper than that for me. It's just like, I don't know. It just, things that I know and things that I have dreams about and stuff.
But you're from the Bay, right?
Yeah.
So,
But it's weird because even my mom, like when people would talk to us, they ask us, like, are you from the South? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no.
No. I thought you were.
See, everybody always thinks I am. And they ask my mother the same thing. So I don't know. I don't know what it is, but maybe we're just hella country. I don't fucking know.
It could be that too. Ain't nothing wrong with being country.
I have no idea.
Listen, that's good. You're grounded.
I have a lot of mix of things in me, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the Who's Hot. We got kind of off track, but that's what this is all about.
We're just talking, two friends just catching up.
Oh yeah.
So let me back it up a little bit. So this event is actually called it's a Memorial Weekend celebration rooftop party.
Dope.
And it's gonna be at and I'll talk to you off the air.
Yeah.
A little bit more. I got a little something.
I got you.
But the lineup. There's a band called Clientele. They're gonna be performing. They're featuring their new album out. We got a Tacoma native, Rocky Sandoval. Cool. We're gonna have him on R&B guy, Filipino dude. He's a lot of people know who Rocky is. So he's planning his tour. But we talked on a couple different occasions. We're able to work some things out. So we're gonna bring Rocky aboard. We have a female artist, Holly Michelle.
Cool.
She's gonna be rocking with us, and a guy out of Yakima, M Status, that's really doing his thing. You know, he's been on the scene for a while. He's amazing. So he's gonna be rocking with us. So the show itself is gonna be dope. So that's gonna be like the little intro, and then hopefully I'll be following up with the Who's Hot 2.
Yeah.
Because that's still in the works, and that's gonna be extra dope. But you know, just to kind of let Hard Rock know about your boy and what ideas I can bring to the table.
That's dope.
We're gonna rock with that and, you know, support clientele. So
that's really dope, and that's why I fuck with you for a lot of reasons, but I fuck with you because you fuck with the community so tough.
Word.
And you take the time to do that, and a lot of people don't, because a lot of people just do what benefits them and benefits them with a bag. So you're giving all these people a platform to showcase themselves that other people would be like, nah, I'm good.
Right.
Other corporations that play music that won't, you know, have them come in and interview or whatnot. You're giving them a voice. And that's like what I'm doing with this podcast. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give people. So if you have any of them, tag me with some of their Instagram pages, because I would love to reach out to them to see if they want to come on here before the show or whatnot, and they have another place to kind of like talk to people and
share what they do.
Exactly.
Because, you know, they all have their own story.
Yeah.
You know, they got their careers, they're doing their thing, and you know, I appreciate that.
Always.
Yeah, so there's quite a bit of things going on. I want to also talk about May 8th.
Yes, May 8th.
I want to definitely talk about that. Something special for the women empowered.
Which I love.
Yeah, you know, so to go ahead and speak a little bit on that, we have this the Women Empowered 2020, where it's a platform for women to encourage each other and also motivate and share their stories. Yeah. Because I think for me, being in my position, I had the opportunity to meet a lot of different women. And I figure as a man, you know, I can only help so much by the support. But if I put an environment together where there's, you know, multiple women that can motivate and encourage each other, it may make more of an impact, right?
Totally.
Feel what I'm saying? So it's not just music, but it's women in all different career professions and fields. We have Miss Washington 2017 is going to be speaking.
Cool.
We have Miss Rhonda Lee, formerly from King 5, meteorologist.
Yeah.
You know, just a lot of women who have some things that they can share, because the pattern that I was finding is you're looking at your situation and your circumstances, right? Like you may be a single mom, you may have an idea, but you don't know how to get it off the ground. Yeah. You may have some struggles and whatnot, or you just might feel like, you know, my personal, you know, living situation is preventing me from getting, you know, off the ground and move. Yeah. So, but it's possible because all these women are doing it and have done it. Yeah. So why not hear, you know, their story of how they made it from, you know, passion to profit? There's
no better way than to motivate somebody to do something that they thought that was impossible to do, and to hear somebody do what you want to do and it actually work. Speaks volumes. It's like I went to this sports award thing not too long ago. I'm part of cryotherapy, glacial cryotherapy. I'm one of their endorsers, and we went all as a group. And I heard like some of these women's stories about how, you know, they fought cancer and they won, and, you know, they had kids, or, you know, one girl had MS and they told her like, you'll never play softball again. And she ended up playing and fucking winning. And it was like all these crazy stories that it's like at that time, and I guess still now, you know, I'm going through a lot of things. I'm going through trying to find another job. I'm going through all these different things. And me watching that was like a reminder. Like it's hard not to feel like, all right, like that, I'm here because of that. That's why I'm here. And with this, you know, and woman empowerment event, it's like, there's going to be so many people in the room that's like, yo, I can do this.
And that's exactly right. And that was another reason why I wanted to have you a part of that too, because, you know, sharing your story, like how can you, you know, maneuver from this situation to be in this? But I think, truthfully, in my opinion, this was the best move for you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I do. I think because you got a voice, you have a platform, and I think that you need to be on your own so you can grow and you can develop that. And if y'all support what I'm saying, like I do, Make sure that you support Jenna in all ways that, you know, she needs it, because it's up to the community and us as people to support each other. And that, to me, that's kind of the problem. We need to give back to supporting one another, especially when it's something positive to move the culture forward. You know what I mean? Because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. See, I'm behind the scenes working. I also host, as you know, so a lot of times I'm in front of the scene on the stage, and that's great too, but I'm getting paid to do that. See, a lot of times when you're behind the scenes, you're not getting paid to do that. That's a passion. You know, I love the culture. I was, you know, from 8 up until my age current. You know, I am this culture. You know, being an artist. Learned the business. You know, I managed artists, you know, because I didn't want them to make the same mistakes, or, you know, I've dealt with bad, you know, business deals. All that stuff. So it's a part of who I am as a character.
This is a person you want to know too, because he's going to game you up. And that's the biggest thing that I take from me when I talk to people is, how can they game me up? And instead of me sitting here being like, oh, I know it all, and this is, you know, so-and-so and this, and you can't tell me nothing, because we both have met artists like that. Young artists that don't want to hear nothing. But if you really want to perfect your craft and get somewhere in that business, whatever you're in, you need to start listening to people and listening to the right ones, especially ones that have been in the industry, that have been doing this shit. It's the same thing. It's like if you're a football player and you're trying to get to the league, you're gonna want to talk to a football player that knows what the fuck they're doing.
It's been there.
Not somebody that ended up wasting all their cash on jewelry and cars and then get out of the league and have nothing to show for it. You know, there's always something to be learned in this game, in this industry, media, being a professional athlete. This is the type of shit that there's a lot of room for fuck ups.
Oh yeah.
And you take one wrong step. You're gone.
Exactly.
So he is well worth being reach out to. You know what I mean? Just have a relationship with him, just to have him know, hey, this is me, I'm doing music. Because that's what I've realized too, is like, people sometimes kind of come at me like, well, you should know about me. Well, guess what, bro? I don't. And why should I know about you? You know what I mean? You have to be hustling. People don't know about me. But if it takes one person to post my shit, and then someone else reaches out to me and was like, yo, can I be on your podcast? Fuck yeah, you can. You know what I mean? If I feel like you have something, if you are a rapper and I think that you got skills, then yes. But if you are a rapper and you show no type of skills and no want to get better, and you're just kind of, I don't know, you can just tell when someone's serious and when someone just wants to like, oh, well, this is what I do.
I know.
Then I'm not going to fuck with you.
And I'll be completely honest too. You know, you can't help everybody.
No.
But see, one thing, I'll say 2 things. Number one, make sure you're ready. You know, everybody wants to get paid. Everybody wants to perform. Everybody feels they deserve A, B, C, D. But the key is this: put in the work, make sure the quality is right, make sure the skill level is above average. You know, all your ducks are in a row, so when you get those opportunities and those breaks to meet people, you're prepared. You know, but I'll always give advice. You may not always be able to be a part of whatever's happening at that moment, but I'm always down to hear where you're at, offer you some advice. Maybe you're not ready now, but go do ABC, come back and see me, and we could do something. Because while I'm building and helping the community, I'm also trying to help myself. So I'm putting myself on a level.
Well, we're all hustlers. We're all trying to make money.
And that's why it's good when iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. When I link with you, I know the quality level. That's why I'm so impressed by what you're doing, because I know you're dope. I know you got this, you know, and I appreciate you being on cue for that moment, because it allowed people like myself and us to know who you are and get behind you.
That's the biggest blessing I got from that. From being on that radio station, was that I got to meet people like you. I got to meet people, the other people that have been on the podcast, listeners that interact with me every single day to tell me that they listened. You know, like, I go through my hardships, and some days you're not going to get a normal Jenna reply, but it's probably because I'm going through some shit on my own. And sometimes all I can do is just reply back something simple. But understand that, like, I have a lot of shit that I'm dealing with too, but I'm always thinking about other people first. Like, it's just something that is me. You know what I mean? And I just, you know, I try my hardest to help people out, but sometimes people don't want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, you know, it's hard. Just be open-minded. Like, you have to be open-minded, and you can't be mad if someone thinks your song is trash. They're gonna be honest. Like,
if somebody likes everything you're doing, then there's probably a problem.
They're not being honest with you.
Yeah.
Tell them right now.
Yeah.
You want to open this bottle, or you want me to open it?
Well, you know, how about you? Because I feel like,
okay.
You know,
E40 would be proud right now. I don't think you're watching.
I hope you're watching, because if you're not, I'm gonna tag you, because you know what? It took me a while to track that down. I was, you know.
Where did you find it out here?
What was that? I'm gonna give him a plug. It was in Northgate area.
Really?
Total Wines.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. And I had been searching. That was actually the last 2 bottles, and I bought them both, but I brought this one that they had.
That's so funny.
The last 2. Can you believe that?
It's so funny. When he first came out with this, he came to the station back home, and he had dropped off some bottles, and he had first come with the slurricane. And my ass it's really, really sweet.
Okay.
But, you know, me in my hyphy ways, I'm like taking Hennessy and drinking that, and then, you know, chasing it with the slurricane. I was pretty fucked up that night. But
when I first met you, Henny shot?
Oh, yeah, it was your birthday.
It was my birthday.
I was like, well, you gotta have a Henny shot. He was like, I don't do Hennessy. I'm like, well, tonight you are.
Yeah. It worked out. It worked out.
That was really, really dope, though, because I got to see how the culture got down here, because when I first moved here, I was like, where is the culture at? Like, why the fuck can't I find it? And then when it's, I mean, you just don't know where to go if you want to, like, I found it hard to find soul food. I found it hard to find a good, you know, there's a lot of good Mexican taco spots out here, but not like how I have them back home. So finally, me being closer to White Center now, I'm like, yo.
It's right there.
I fucking made it. You know what I mean?
It's right there. Cheers.
Thank you for everything that you do, coming on. Cheers to you.
Cheers to everybody watching.
Cheers to E40. Thank you. You're going to like this. It's sweet.
Okay.
It's nice, right?
Ooh.
Just makes you like that. Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. I like that quality.
So the woman empowerment thing, if you didn't hear, I'm hosting. Really excited. The whole flyer is right here, and I'm going to be posting it closer on my Instagram page. I don't like to post it too far out because people just forget so fast. So it's going to be in May. It's May 8th. Can people come? What's the call for this? Okay,
so basically, we're going to keep, with everything going on currently, we're going to keep the capacity level small.
Okay.
So,
intimate.
Very intimate.
I like that.
And I also want it to be that way so people can get the chance to network and actually talk and ask those questions, because what happened was we had like an overwhelming response of emails that came after the flyer dropped. So I'm in the process of adding on some more speakers. A breast cancer business survivor.
Love it.
She's dope.
I love it.
Dope.
This is gonna be helpful for me too, because I need all the motivation I can get right now.
Check this out. A sports brain and therapy speaker, just next level, super dope.
Dope.
She wants on. We have a yoga instructor and a personal trainer. It's just way beyond
women
what
doing
I was.
Dope shit.
Yeah, you know, I'm like, okay, well, women empowered, do your thing. Yeah. So it's gonna be really dope, and
I'm excited.
You guys all have a story, and I just want to see other women get the information, and even personal friends of mine that I know that are talented. They're models, they're artists. They have the talent. They just need the guidance.
Yeah.
You know, and I figure if I put them around successful models who are getting paid to travel and do what they do, maybe they can give them the information.
Yeah, the tools.
That they need, the tools, the mindset.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing is the talent, but you got to have a certain mindset.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
hell yeah.
It starts with the mind. So I wanted them to get that connection so they can build those relationships to move forward.
Yeah.
So and I think you're the perfect person to take that and spearhead it, because one, you got a story. Two, you're a host and you're dope. But I wanted you to be able to find what you need to, you know, the network, because
thank you.
Everyone has a platform.
Yep.
And when I thought of this idea, truthfully, you were on the top of my mind of it.
Thanks, RJ.
Yeah, no doubt. So I think it's going to be real special, and I also want to do the same thing for us men.
Yeah.
So Men of Power is in the works as well. So hopefully I can get that packaged and ready to go right around Father's Day, because as you know, May 8th is Mother's Day weekend.
Right.
And it's not by, the coincidence, it's by purpose.
Yeah, you created that for that.
For that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to show from a man's perspective that we support you, we stand behind you women. So make sure you guys go out, even go to Brown Paper Tickets and get those tickets. It's very limited. I'm going to cut it at about 100 capacity, maybe less.
And they're on sale right now.
It's on sale right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to post the flyer on my story too. But, you can reach out to RJ for the link, hit him up on Instagram and all that stuff, and he can direct you to where you need to go. But I would definitely, if you are a woman sitting here right now listening in and being like, this sounds like something I need, like, don't waste. How much are tickets?
Tickets are about 30.
Okay.
Tickets are about 30. That's for general. There are a couple VIPs, and they're in groups of 4 or groups of 6. And they range for about, I think, 125 to about 160, roughly. But that's for 6, or groups of 4 and groups of 6. And
do you get like a bottle or something, or like?
I
know this is not a club event, but
no. What you are gonna get, we will have champagne, but what you're gonna get from that, we're gonna have like a swag bag with a lot of different tools and different things in there for you. So it'll be special, because again, it is Mother's Day weekend, so it's all about the ladies. So I'm definitely gonna do something special.
Dope. And let me have this be an opportunity too, to let you guys know that if you know any women that are really dope women, they have made it through a crazy story. It doesn't have to be that they made it to be famous or anything like that, or a media job. But if like, one of my favorite stories to tell is one of my old friends, her name's Erin. And I don't have a lot of female friends, and me and her, we clicked really strongly. Mm-hmm. She had a baby when she was 13, and she was addicted to drugs. She was addicted to, I think it was meth. Okay. I want to say meth, or it was some type of, it was an upper, it was some crack or something. Mm-hmm. I don't really remember. She's been my friend for so long. We don't talk about that shit anymore. She had a baby when she was 13. She was in an abusive relationship. She probably didn't think that she was ever going to be able to get out. She is now a mother of 2. She's gotten her master's. Okay. She is married to also one of my very good friends, Frankie Fingers. Okay. And, her daughter that she had when she was very young is now 22 years old and is an art student, is beautiful, one of the best kids I know. And I used to always look at her because she was older than me. She was about 6 years older than me. Okay. And I spent a lot of time with her when I was young, when I was like 17, 18, and stayed at her house all the time because her boyfriend, who was also like family to me, had the studio, so I was always there. We were always making music, doing shit,
the little sister.
Yeah. And I stayed there a lot, and I remember going through a lot of things, and just looking at her made me be like, yo, if she can do this, like, she made it out of the darkness and had a whole nother human being to take care of. Right. And she had to do homeschooling, and she dropped out, and she ended up getting her high school degree and or high school diploma and things like that, but didn't stop there. She got her master's.
Kept going.
Like, her master's with no fucking money.
That's
you know
a
what
big
I mean?
deal.
And so for me, that was huge. I didn't know if I wanted to go to college. Every one of my friends didn't go to college. Mm-hmm. We was like street babies. Like, right. So that just didn't seem like it was in the cards for me. And then, I ended up going to college, and I still talk to her to this day. Right. So, I think that if you know any women out there like that, that you look at and you're like, yo, Tiffany, or, Taisha, she's been through fucking hell and back, like, DM me, let me know, tag her, and if they're interested in telling their story, like, that's what I want to hear on the podcast. Right. So, there's room for people to share their stories because it always benefits other people.
And that's it. And that's the whole purpose of it. It's not about, look at me, I'm successful now, I'm famous. No, we want to hear the stories. I want them to share their stories. Like,
sometimes it's, look at me, I'm still alive.
Yeah,
and I'm here.
Right, and I'm still going.
And I'm still going. I haven't given up. Yeah,
right.
That's really it.
Because there's never a limit to where it's like, I'm finally here.
No.
you got to keep going.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Totally.
no, I appreciate that because you get it, and that's generally what it's about.
Yeah.
It's just about, you know, having a support system, you know, and like I said, women need it for themselves just like us men need it, because I've also been reaching out to positive men influencers in the community too, because I want them to come out and spearhead the panel for the men.
Yeah.
You know, because I think for us as brothers, you know, we hold emotions in, we don't speak a lot unless it's somebody that is close to us, but even then they don't have the information that we need to get us to get to the next level.
Right.
They have a confidentiality,
right,
but they don't have the information and the resource to get me to the next level.
Right.
But if there's a event where we can get these guys together, I think it's impactful. We can support each other and move forward. And I think that's how we move the culture forward. That's how we can actually make a difference as, you know, people in the industry and in our communities to move forward. And we can't expect people outside the community to help us if we can't help each other within the communities. Feel what I'm talking about?
100%. Don't you think it's really weird how, like, women hate to help other women and men hate to help other men?
I didn't realize it with women until I started talking.
Oh man, you don't realize it with women until you're a woman. You know what I mean? And
I
think
bad,
that's
huh?
it's that bad.
In the workforce or just
everywhere? It's competition. I mean, think about it as being, say, on the court with men. You know, you're always gonna want to win.
For sure.
Right? So it's kind of like that with women, and that's what I've kind of learned over the period of time is, you know, I'll look at a woman and be like, yo, like, we can do this shit together. Like, this is fun. But the whole time, she's looking at me like, oh, I better get this before this bitch does.
Right.
But I ain't going to tell her anything. I'm going to fucking ride her, and I'm going to emulate everything that she does and take her swag and try to be her because I'm too proud to say that I envy you or that I look up to you.
Right.
But when you're just honest, you know, if people were just honest, I want everybody to win. And that's even people I don't like. And you know, we just discussed this.
We sure did. Yeah.
There's very rare people that I will stop the bag from getting to them. And if I do, that means that you're really fucked.
Right.
But even with people that I don't get along with, I don't give a fuck. Like, you might be cool with somebody else, and I might just see a different you. But, you know, from what I've learned, it's just like, women just really, if it's not comparing your body, it's comparing what you do, it's comparing your man, it's or your girlfriend, whatever, which way you run, it's comparing everything that you do. And it gets old.
Do you think it'll ever change?
No. I think that it comes with maturity. Because I've met some women that are some real ass women. That want to see me win as much as I want to see them win. But, you know, women do some weird shit.
Interesting.
And they do, like, from what I learned as growing up, it was always like, it gets weird in groups.
Okay.
Like, say you're, you know, in a group of 3 friends. And 2 friends are always a little bit closer than the third. And they make you feel that. That's what I realized as I was growing up, is like, women are, and this is not to say all, so anybody that's listening that's like, oh, she's a woman basher, that's not about that at all. I've had experiences to make me not want to be friends with a lot of women.
Right, personally.
Or to make me look at girls a little differently because of the shit that they did. I remember one of my very first friends, and we were young, she made me hide in the closet when another friend came over, because her friend that came over was a little bit older. She was a skank. She was like, you know, she had the weed and stuff like that. We were young. I was like a couple years younger than her. We knew each other because of family. So she was kind of like my cousin. Okay. And her little friend came over and she's like, sit in the closet. And I was like, why? She was like, just stand in the closet. And she didn't want her older friend to see me because she wanted to be cool, even though I was her best friend.
Right.
When that happened, I knew right then and there, like, bitches really be phony.
Right.
You should have been like, hey, if you don't fuck with her, you don't fuck with me.
Right.
Because that's the type of bitch I am.
Loyal.
But that wasn't the case with her. Then when it started happening more and more often, then you see women get close to you because you have friends that they want to hook up with. Or they have a spotlight that you want.
Yeah.
You start to realize, wow, like, you really are shady. And then it makes you not want to fuck with any women or trust any woman because, you know, you see all these movies. Like Tyler Perry's the best at it. You never talk about your problems with your man because if another bitch is waiting to get in on it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Things like that make you very weary. And a lot of women that I knew that were worried towards me was because they've had situations where their friends fucked their dudes. So when I was left alone with their man, You can ask any female I've ever kicked it with where I was cool with her and her boyfriend or her and her husband.
Yeah.
They would leave and they wouldn't think twice about leaving me with their man.
I believe it.
Because there was no threat.
Right.
They'd be like, you know, you're pretty, whatever.
Right.
I never was like skanky clothes. I never was like touchy.
But
I
it's
was
your
a
vibe,
homie.
Jenna. It's your energy. It's your vibe. You don't come across like that at all.
Yeah.
And I just think you said it earlier. It's a maturity level.
It is.
It's but you had to go through what you went through to get to that point, right?
100%.
And
I never had that in me. You know what I mean? I never had that cattiness in me. Whenever I was in a situation where there was 3 of us as friends hanging out, I would try my hardest to make sure that person never felt like a third wheel.
Okay.
And I've been that third wheel. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel good when people make you feel like they don't want you there. So then why be there? So as I've grown, you know, got older and older, I was a lone wolf most of my life. I still am.
Yeah.
I'm very independent.
Yeah.
My best friend is my dog. You know what I'm saying? And now I trust Will.
Shout out to Pitt.
Yeah. Shout out to Trina. I trust Will with everything that I have.
Trina in the building.
But
Oh, sorry.
it's okay. But you know, I struggle with trust issues with him too. Just because I'm always feeling like people are out to get me because they've done it so much to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Understandable.
It's so
and shout
hard.
out to Will too.
Shout out to Will too.
It's a good dude.
But you know, women, I think it's just innately, it's just like they always, instead of looking at a woman and saying, damn, she's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You look at a woman and say, oh, well, she got fake titties. She has a fake ass. She's probably not that pretty without makeup. She's probably trash. I'm probably way prettier than her.
Why do you think the
women
people
do that?
So the women that actually do that, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's insecurities?
100%.
Okay.
1,000 trillion, 100%.
So the way to change that is people need to work on themselves because they act that way because they got some personal problems within that they never dealt with.
100,000%.
Oh, I'm here today. I showed up.
You showed the fuck up.
I'm present today. What's happening,
but
guys?
people don't want to take they don't want to take ownership.
Right.
For anything
no
that they do.
accountability for shit.
And you know, and we talked about that too. People are always asking you, so when are we going to eat again? When's the next?
Right.
Well, why don't you give me some information?
Exactly.
Because we weigh all of these people on our shoulders, and we're trying to feed all these people. We're trying to feed ourselves, and you don't care if I'm in the mud and I can't get out, as long as you step over me to get out.
Right.
And that's some real shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
that's right.
I've had a lot of falling out with people, and for a lot of times I'm like, yo, it has to be me. It has to be me, bro. Like. Maybe I'm just too hard on people, and maybe it's just like I expect too much. But I'm like, no, fuck that, because I give everything that I possibly have to friendships.
Right.
And then when I stop, it's because I'm fed up. I'm fed up of fucking being the only one that cares. You know?
I think because we care too much to everybody, and it's not a bad thing. It's just you got to be careful. You know what I mean? Like who you give your heart to, right?
Yeah.
Think about it, because. It's good to care, and it's always good to want to help people. I realize that, but I think in the beginning, you want to help everybody that you know.
Yeah.
Everybody that comes to you, hey, can you help me this? You want to help them.
I got you.
But you got to be careful where you're giving that help to and at that time, because you're giving it to the wrong person because you want to be loyal, but then there's a person over here that really needs it, and they deserve it.
Yep.
They're putting in that work that you want this person to do, but they're not doing it. You know,
100%.
They're just lazy, or they're waiting for you to do it, or they're just like, you know, they expect it.
Hell yeah.
You know, they feel entitled.
Yep.
Hell no.
No.
Get your ass to work.
Yep.
You know, help me. I'll help you if you help yourself.
Exactly.
Period.
It's like back to that music shit. Excuse me. If you don't have an edited single or a freestyle off of someone else's song, so if you can't get a beat, okay, that's not the end of the world. Mm-hmm. There's other ways to go about it. If you don't have a flyer, if you don't have anything that I can post, then don't come at me like I don't support you, because that's not the case. You have to give me something to fucking work with. And I will tell people that straight to their face. When people say, hey, can you post about this? If you send me a flyer, I'll be more than happy to post about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, this is your event. This is your thing. So I will be there to support you, and I will be there to repost anytime you fucking tag me in anything. If you notice, anything that anyone ever tags me in, and it's not some bullshit,
I know where you're going.
I repost it.
You do.
Every fucking time. Do people post my podcast? Some of my friends that I would call my real friends, they have never posted my podcast.
Yeah, right.
Swear.
Really?
And so for me, I'm like, do I cut them off? Or do I just not take that personally? Because that shit hurts my fucking feelings. You know what I'm saying? I have strangers. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. All I know is that it takes no time out of your fucking day to post something on your social media. True. One time. You don't even listen to my shit. You don't even subscribe to my shit. I'm gonna let that go.
Right.
But to not post, when I have strangers that are more friends than me than you are, I gotta cut you. It's not a loss for me at that point.
Right. Why are you around?
Why the fuck are you around? And this is not about me being like, oh, well, you should support everything that I do. It's not about that at all.
Yeah.
But if you really do fuck with me and you want me to survive and make money and do things and get to where I want to be, this is part of it.
Right. Right.
So I don't think it's that hard.
You can't tell me all these things and that you support me when you don't show it.
But when, I blow up and I'm on a show or I'm on MTV or I'm doing something, guess who's going to be asking me to repost their shit? And guess who's not going to be even opening that shit to put on red? I'm not. Like, people think that this is a fucking game. Right. And they think that I forget about shit. But no one ever forgets the way somebody makes them feel. And Oprah said it the best.
That's true.
And that's it.
We just handle it different.
Exactly. And so for me, I'll stay quiet. I'm not going to reach out to you and say, hey, why haven't you posted my podcast? Nah. But best believe I'm watching.
Yeah.
And I remember if you posted that shit or not.
Right.
And that's no fucking, that's no shady shit at all.
It's just real.
It's just real talk.
That's why, I mess with you, because you're real. But Jenna, I swear, I see nothing but big things for you.
Thanks.
I don't know what they are, but I just
Me either.
know it. But it's coming. But see, the thing is that's life.
Yeah.
All we do is the best we can that day, that moment, and just make sure we keep moving. You never thought you'd be doing this.
Fuck no.
A year when. Let's back it up.
Okay.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem.
For killing Mopop.
Yeah, no problem.
Selling it out.
He was actually behind all of that as well. So, it was really dope to even work with him, already knowing him and having a relationship with him. I had no idea he was even a part of it until damn near 2 days ahead or something. It was only a couple days ahead prior. And then if I would have known he was behind it, I would have been fucking probably posting even more. But no, thank you for that.
Yeah, but I did it that way. I didn't want, I didn't want to make that the focus.
Yeah.
Because I knew what you were capable of and what you're gonna do, and you guys delivered. You delivered. It was dope, crazy dope.
It was dope. It was a really dope event.
Yeah. For everyone that was there, excuse me, you guys know it was dope.
Yeah.
So this is like a part 2.
Yeah, I think so too.
Don't you think so?
I think that this was supposed to happen. Maybe not the podcast thing, but just my route and it all. Right. Everything does happen for a reason, as much as I fucking hate that saying, and I could live without hearing that and hearing, oh, it was a blessing in disguise, or old doors need to close for new ones to open. If I had a dime for every time somebody said that to me, I would have been a rich woman by now. And I really appreciate all of the nice, that's something nice to say. But me being a realist and, just being like, all right, well, that's nice of them to say, but who else are they telling that to? Right? So, I think it came from a genuine spot, but it's just hard sometimes to believe when that's what you hear from people all the time. When someone loses their job, someone's like, oh, bigger and better things. When in your back of your head, like, oh, Jimmy ain't going nowhere. Like, that was the end for him. So I'm hoping that's not the case for me when people said that. But shit's gonna happen the way it's supposed to happen regardless. And like we said in the beginning of this, the best thing I got was I met a whole bunch of fucking people that I would have never ever met. And all these kids, that was the biggest thing, was I was really popular in the 10 to 12 year olds. And
the high schools, huh?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Not even middle schools too, And not to brag, but
humble.
But yeah, I mean, kids just really like me on there, and so it's shitty for me because I can't have them listen to this podcast because a lot of times I'm swearing or we're talking about shit we can't have them listen to.
Grown folks.
But I'll send them stickers if they hit me up.
Still?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Really?
I made my own stickers from this podcast, and they give you one when you leave.
Okay.
And I send it to them. I write them little notes, and I'll send them out. And that's just something that
I didn't know that.
That's just what I do. You know what I mean? You want a sticker of me? Fuck yeah, I'm honored to send it to you.
Yeah.
So
why do you care so much? I mean,
I don't know.
About the like you really do care.
I don't know.
Okay.
Like, part of me, to be really honest, part of me is like, why the fuck do I care? Some days
I'm serious, yeah.
I'm like, why the fuck do I care about these people I don't know when they probably give two shits about me? But I don't know. It's just something in me that there's a bigger picture. And I think that I was put on this earth to make people feel like everything's going to be okay.
That's it.
Which is very contradicting because a lot of days I'm quite the opposite in my own life. Like, nothing's going to be okay. I'm going to be on the street. I have nowhere to live pretty soon. Like, you know, I'm like such a worry-wart when it comes, but nobody would ever know because I don't speak my problems to people. It's just, to me, it's just like you swallow shit and you fucking
work through it.
You work through it. I mean, that's how I was raised.
Right.
And I guess for me, if people treated me the way I treated them, then maybe I would be in a different place in my head. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's what I wanted was just a little bit of direction or just someone to be like, hey, like, I fuck with you.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I think that's just kind of like what I do. Like, you know, I have people hit me up with addiction problems, relapsing. I have people hit me up before they hit their friends up.
Right.
And for what reasons? I don't really know.
I do.
But I'm honored, you know?
Yeah.
So I want to be in counseling. I mean, that's what I got my degree in.
There we go. I see.
But I couldn't do it because I hold too much of people's problems on me. It becomes like almost detrimental to me.
But this is counseling. To have you on the radio or not even through broadcasting.
Right.
For you to have a platform where people can reach out to you and reach you.
Yeah.
I think that's why you do it because, you know, it's important. And you are doing counseling and you know, helping people. But you do it because you're passionate, right?
Yeah.
I do what I do because I'm passionate about it. I really care. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, because people look at, well, what are you getting from it?
Right.
You know, they try to paint your pockets or paint your motive, but they don't really see the effort that you really genuinely care about people.
Yeah.
We do this for the people.
You know how many people always say to me, like, when I answer back on DMs, they'll be like, oh my God, I didn't think you'd write back. I'm like, I write back everybody. Like, I always write back. But that just shows me how many people don't fucking write back.
Majority of them
don't.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's just one of like the worst flaws you can have is to think that you're better than anybody.
Right.
And I just, you know, I did a podcast with Fat Boy Catering recently. And he was like, yo, when you hit me up, it was like celebrity, like Jigga Jenna hit me up. Like, I woke up my wife to tell her that, like, you're a celebrity in the Washington area. And I was like, nah, bruh, I'm not though.
But you are though.
And but it's that mindset. Like, I could be Cardi B tomorrow. And I still would answer DMs back. Now, they'd be in volumes, so it would be really hard to answer everybody back, and I think about that a lot. But I wouldn't just not take a picture with a fan. And I wouldn't not listen to a fan if they had a story to tell me about it. And a lot of times it's overwhelming. I mean, I get some people where it's like, they cry when they meet you, and it's like, you don't really know how to act. And, you know, like, I'm not emotional like that, so, like, I don't get it. But, like, all I can say is that you're crying just because you're meeting me.
Right.
So all I can do is be thankful and honor that.
Right.
And all I have to do by being thankful and honoring that is just to be nice and listen to you.
Exactly.
Which takes none of my fucking money or time.
Right. Exactly.
Like you know. I
saw an Instagram post where it was like, I think you and Will, you guys were out randomly at some.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. It was the Winter Wonderland thing. That right?
Yeah.
Where the girl was like, Jenna, are you Jenna?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, stuff like that.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
But what I realized it's because people, they relate to me. It's because I'm a real fucking person. And I go through real fucking problems.
And you voice it.
And I talk about it.
And you talk about it, yeah.
You know what I mean? And people just don't, people have this thing where it's like, they don't want anybody to know that they go through problems. And they're too prideful for that. And I'm a prideful person. But what I do know is that me stating how I feel about something or talking about a problem could possibly save someone's life. So I look at it deeper, you know what I mean? And to me, that's what makes it special. It's as simple as that. I almost got teary-eyed right there. But
I know.
You know, it's just as simple as that. It's just so many people, they're not heard. Their parents, family, they don't listen. So if I can be that one person that fucking listens to them, then that's cool.
You also know that you're very rare, especially in the field that you're in, like the type of work that you do.
Media,
to genuinely care like that, because you are talking to a broad audience of people, right?
Yeah.
And you can't reach every one of them, but when you have these moments like that, you can reach them. But just you're very open with what you talk about.
Yeah.
And I think that is what connects you to the people, right? Because you share real things, because somebody somewhere is listening. It just may be the universe putting them in a position to catch a word that you're saying.
And it's so funny you said that, because that's one of the reasons why I started doing this podcast. Because there's been so many times where, people will turn on music, right? They'll get in their car having a bad day, and you turn on the music, and all of a sudden you hear a song that reminds you of somebody that you love that's either passed away, or something that tells you to keep going, or something that relates to what you're going through at that time. And we call those signs, right?
Right.
Some of us call them signs, some call them coincidence, whatever it is. But if you're really intuitive, those signs could make that day a little bit better.
Right.
And I feel like with my podcast, when people are going through things and you're driving home or you're driving to work, those are the times that you think about things the most.
Mm-hmm.
And you're sitting in traffic and you're say you had a bad day. I want somebody to listen to a podcast and be like, yo, I was meant to hear this, because I was about to go do something stupid, or I was about to go say fuck it and whatever it is, quit your job, or you maybe you're in an abusive relationship, and then you hear this and you're like, this is a sign. This is what I needed to make that step. That's what I want people to listen to this podcast and do. I want people to be like, okay, this gives me a little strength to do the things that I don't want to do, but I know Jenna, she's been through it, or RJ's been through it.
Right.
And it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay.
I can keep going.
Yeah. And that's what my goal is. And that's why I wanted people, simple people, to come and be on the podcast with whatever you do.
Right.
Because that's who all of we are.
Right.
People don't relate to celebrities, and the ones that they relate to, there's reasons why they're big. It's like Cardi B.
Right.
The reason why she was so big was because people related to her and thought she was funny. She was a real human being. She's a homegirl that you have, that I have.
Right.
She was familiar.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Look what happened.
Right.
Everything was convoluted. Everybody wants to fuck up her life. So now she doesn't even post like she used to anymore, because everyone's got something to say.
Right.
People try to tear down those people, and I call it the devil.
Right.
The devil always tries to tear down people that are always trying to make other people do better.
That's right. That's right.
And so I have to constantly remind myself, like, if I'm having a bad fucking day and everything's going wrong, I'm like, okay, he's trying to break me down, because I would be a strong person to get on his side.
That's right.
The devil wants you to be like, fuck everybody, fuck this world, fuck me, fuck you.
Right.
I hate everything.
I don't need nothing.
I don't need nothing. They want you. He wants you to wallow in your own darkness.
Right.
And when he tries harder and harder, it's because you're breaking through to that light.
Right.
He looks at you like, okay, you have something that, like, I can't let you get any bigger than this.
Right.
Because I can't let you fight against me.
That's right.
Light will always overpower darkness.
Always. Right.
So,
and that's exactly, everything that you're saying is true.
Yeah.
And the difference is because you've been around celebrities and shared conversations with, I've been around celebrities, and we've been around, everyday people, real people. And the only difference, in my opinion, between the two is just the work.
It is.
It's the effort that they put into doing whatever it is that they're doing versus the ones that are just content with whatever they have.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's just really one word. It's called opportunity.
Right.
Because you can meet somebody that fucking hustles every day of their life. They sleep 3 hours a day and they do the most they can, but they have no opportunity and they have nowhere to push their shit.
Right.
But yeah, I just think it's important for people just to, we all just need a little hand from time to time, man.
That's it.
And so if I can give you that, then I'm happy.
And that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
To give those opportunities, but also tell people to be ready for them. And, celebrities have problems. We all got problems.
Hell yeah.
I've talked to some celebrities that you wouldn't even know that they have those types of problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when people like us, because we're real, they can, there's a sense of comfort.
Yeah.
Because people don't just tell you what they're going through.
No.
But if they sense that you're a real person, you can have those relationships. And for me, it was humbling, because it was like, you know what? I used to think if I was famous, my life would be great. I have all this money. I have everything that I need to be to be happy.
That's what you think.
But that's not the case because they have different problems, different stresses, more of it. And when you can relate to both sides, you can see the balance is that we're all the same.
Yeah.
You understand? It's just the mindset. And that's why I'm able to be transparent and move around. Like when I do the local stuff, it's because I'm trying to kind of allow a platform and give the information to people. So when they do make it over to that side, they're ready, they're strong enough, you know, because shit gets real. Right.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It gets really real. But, you know.
Yeah, I feel you. 110%.
We can only do what we do, but what I will say, and I hope everyone's listening, we got to make sure we support Jenna.
Thank you.
With the J all day, because this is dope. You know, everything about what you're doing is dope. Keep doing it because it's much needed.
It's just begun too.
It's your own lane, so can't nobody take it from you.
No.
Shit, it's yours. You created this.
That's right.
Like, I wish somebody would.
Right.
Come try to take what you started, you know?
Facts.
But, you know, at the end of the day, it's bigger than just this. It's what you're contributing to the world and to, you know, to the communities, right? Yeah. You know, and it's going to grow. We're going to make sure of it because, you know, I'll keep bringing back more stuff. We'll get to more people in here. And, you know, the goal is to start bringing, you know, more celebrities and more, you know, public influencers to kind of help build up what this is. Because there's no way, the Northwest can't be just like Atlanta. It can't be just like other regions.
There's no way,
You know what I mean? Like, but the difference is, it's like we're so, well, in my opinion, it's just cliques.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And you said it earlier, like it's groups that they're kind of like, okay, well, I got this. This is mine.
Yeah.
You know, this is mine. You can't have it. But it's enough for everybody. You know, share.
For real.
Share it.
Say that again. There's enough for everybody.
It's enough for everybody. It is. You know, and as much as I'm creating opportunities for myself to try to get mine, I'm still leaving enough room to have, you know, to give to others too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I think that's the real way. Because when you really hit wealth and success, there's enough. You ain't even tripping. People, you know, look at the cats that die with billions of dollars.
I know.
You know what I mean?
You can't take that shit.
You can't take it with you.
No.
No. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you more than you know, man.
What you got?
Are going to do some outro questions.
Aight.
Okay. So, what's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
First thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I actually pray.
It's so funny. You're the second person. So, okay, behind the scenes a little bit. Sometimes I do 2 podcasts a day, and then that way, you know, I can make sure that I have them up and going, because they take a while for me to edit and to produce and all that stuff. So I like to do maybe a couple in a day or whatnot. Today, I did another person, and he was the first person that said he prays the first thing when he wakes up in the morning.
Because most people do it at night.
And then you said that you pray too. So all that tells me, going back to signs, is like, hey, what should I do tomorrow morning? I should probably pray. Yeah. That's a sign right there.
It makes a difference. Try it.
Yeah,
I will.
I will. Favorite cereal?
Favorite cereal? Frosted Flakes.
Oh, I love Frosted Flakes. Yes. See, RJ, you and me, just 2 pieces of pie. One thing someone would be really surprised to know about you.
Oh.
What was that? I don't know what that was, but that was weird.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's one thing that would be sorry, I got all flustered.
I know, me too.
Or one thing someone would be surprised to know about you.
One thing someone would be surprised to know about me. I used to be an artist.
Like rapper? Really?
Yeah.
What was your rapper name?
It was okay. At first, it was MC Spice, and then it was Too Fly.
How long ago was that?
A long time ago, like early teens. However, but okay. So here's the quick. I'll be real quick.
Okay.
So I moved up from Louisiana. I had this accent, right? Moved up at 14, right? Moved to Kent. So I had this Southern accent. Didn't really want to be up here because, you know, this is a really important age in the kid's life, right?
Yeah.
Went to go to high school, moved up here, but I rapped. So, or I like to write songs.
Right.
So then I was like, but I like to talk because I had this accent and everybody was different. So, but when I rapped, everyone gravitated to it because it sounded different. It's kind of like a juvenile, you know, Louisiana style. Yeah. So that was it. But, you know, that was fun. Did that for a while, you know, recorded some music and had a little fun with it. Did a little tour. I mean, from Canada all the way down to the to Northern Cal.
That's dope.
So yeah, that was my taste of. But you know, you're young and you don't know any business.
Everybody also wanted to be a rapper. You know what I mean? It's like in your period of life, if you are around that shit, you either want to be a singer or a rapper at least for like a year of your life.
Right.
Like I wanted to be a rapper and a singer. My name was gonna be J Sweet.
Oh, okay.
And my plan was
J Sweet
to get my own Swisher and have like my name on it, my own flavor, some J Sweets, you know.
Look, it ain't too late, J
Sweets. Man. Those are my good old days. What's your proudest moment?
My son.
I like that. Favorite thing to cook?
Spaghetti.
Okay. From scratch?
All day.
Nice. Most hated house chore?
Laundry.
I hate laundry too.
Would that be considered?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, we kind of talked about it earlier, but sour candy or chocolate?
Ooh.
I know that's a hard one.
You know? Ooh. That hit me a little different. You threw me off a little bit. Okay, hold up now. Chocolate.
Okay. What's your go-to chocolate bar? Or your chocolate candy, I should say.
Snickers.
Snickers?
Mm-hmm.
Snickers is good. They do hit good.
Yeah,
when
they
you
do.
feel like a Snickers. Have you had the almond Snickers?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So good. And then let everybody know how to get a hold of you. Instagram, say your name, whatever else.
Okay, so yeah, you can reach me on Instagram, RJ the Host. You can reach me on Facebook at Robert RJ Joseph. And you can check out my past and, you know, kind of what's going on currently. And just kind of, you know, get behind and support. You know, we're always, my thing is I'm always trying to do something different. I mean, even if I'm a part of it, you know, the event, you know, even also if I'm not, if it's a good event, I'll share it, you know, post it. So just trying to network. But one last little thing, I'm also, because it's really important right now, look into and support the census. You know, the U.S. Census 2020 is very important for this state of Washington and for the community. I'm a part of that as well, you know, and I'm only saying that because of the urgency of the time and how much is needed, because it goes to, you know, to healthcare. It goes to providing places for homeless people to get, you know, drug treatments and everything to get back on their feet, housing, you know, developments to get them into that, fixing the road fixtures and everything like that. So I'm still learning, and I'm just sharing information that I have, but you can go to U.S. Census 2020 and just look it up, you know, and list. It's only 10 questions, takes about 10 minutes to fill it out.
And it's directly affecting you.
Yes,
like if you live in Washington State, it's directly affecting you and your community and your kids and whoever else, you know, is around you. So it's good to look into just in general, and you support him as well by doing it. So
thank you.
So make this fucking dream work.
Yeah, come on.
Appreciate you, and we'll be back for the next episode.
Thank you, guys.
Peace.
Peace.